how and why did you get started with high school softball?
I was a wrestling coach, and Stu Eversole, the athletic director at the time, asked me if I wanted to coach JV softball. And I thought about it for a little bit, and I thought this would be good for me to get a position at the high school or get a position and stay in the district. And so I said, yeah, sure. And then from there, it was, I think about the third year, the position opened up at the varsity level, and he offered me the position there.
Gotcha. So did you, like, what year was that? 19?
That was 85 when I was a JV coach. And then 86, and then the position was offered to me in 89, 90.
Okay.
Very difficult. Did not have a pitcher. That was the returning pitcher. The pitcher I had was the girl I had on JV the year before. Good heart, good work ethic, but was going to get smacked around a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, and I just took my lumps. Right. You know, we just did what we could do.
Yeah.
So, and the intensity of the varsity game was different. The speed of the varsity game was definitely higher. And it was for keeps. It wasn't like, oh, this is just JV. Now this means something. Mm-hmm. So that meant that I had to learn as much as possible, as fast as possible.
How did you guys end up that season? Were you guys?
We were actually, I think we were about 13-9.
That's not bad.
No, it was not bad. It was a good season compared to what we had, because, like I said, we only had one pitcher, mm-hmm. and that pitcher threw all the time, and she did fine. And the other ones that tried to pitch were just kind of coming in to help out, so they weren't a regular pitcher. The program or the kids, those are two different things. I would say this. The kids are different in the sense that now a lot of girls are playing summer ball. Mm-hmm. You know, it's everybody on a varsity team right now plays summer ball for somebody unless they take a break. And that by summer ball, I mean they play travel ball. They play against good competition. They see good pitching. They're around good players.
What is something that motivates you to keep coming back year after year?
I think it's the girls that are involved in the program. You know, they want to learn. They want to be coached. They're smart kids, and they get excited about things that I'm excited about, winning championships and playing hard, and just they're easy to coach most of the time. Mm-hmm. You know, every girl has a little thing here or there that, you know, and you find out what that button is, and you push that button, and then they go the right way. Sometimes you push the button and they go the other way, and then you find a way to get them back. But I think they want to learn. Mm-hmm. And if they want to learn, I want to teach them as much as I can.
Right. Exactly.
I've thought about it. I mean, people think that when Brianna's done, I'll be done. You know, that's 4 years from now. In reality, I would say that I'll coach as long as they'll let me coach. But more than likely it'll be, 6 years maybe. A couple years after I'm done teaching. I hope to be done teaching in 4 years, and then there's some girls that I've worked with, in the elementary programs that I'd like to coach. Mm-hmm. And if they're still in the game and I'm excited about it, I'm going to keep on doing it.
Right.
That's the best thing about what I do, is that I enjoy this time of year. This is my favorite time of year. That's the thing, that there's girls that I have in Taylor Fair right now. Mm-hmm. I had her, and she remembers that because Charquita, you probably don't remember, you don't know her, but Ashley Keith and Megan Donahue, those girls came back to visit us after a game this week, and it's just, when girls come back, that makes it nice. Mm-hmm. Because we talk about stuff, and some of the stuff they liked and some of it they didn't, but they feel like they learned a lot with me, and they shared that with the team. And for those girls to hear that and listen with the attention that they did, it was nice.
Right.
So. One was a state championship or state championships. I think it's fun to show kids that hard work, all right, which is what we do. We talk about it all the time. Hard work can yield good results and get you to your goals. And that's in life, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a job, whether it's your family, whether it's your house, it doesn't matter. If you work hard, you can feel like I've done something, you know, and usually you get what your goal is if you work hard. Not all the time though in sports. But that's what I want. That's what I want the kids to understand is when we're done with this, hey, we worked hard, we had a goal, and we accomplished what we could accomplish.
Right.
I think a combination of things. One is I try to have everybody feel like they're a part of this team and this program, and everybody's going to do their part. You know, we'll play freshmen. A lot of programs won't play freshmen. And the girls that are leaders, they started this a while ago. They do that scavenger hunt type thing. They call it something else, but I'm going to call it a scavenger hunt. And it's something that the girls really enjoy doing. And then they also do a couple times a year. They have a little get together over at somebody's house, and you know, spend the night and just talk and stay up late and do whatever. And then we also have a trip out to my farm where the girls can spend the night and fish and have a fishing tournament for fun and ride quads and just be with each other again in a completely non-competitive situation. And we fix them breakfast and lunch and all that, and they bring all the food, but we cook it for them, and it's a getaway, and it's fun.
Yeah, that was always my favorite.
Yeah,
That was
and it's a lot of fun still to do, and but those are the kind of things that the kids. It's about the kids getting together and enjoying it, and those things there that also brings them closer on the field. I think you know they just know each other better, and you're going to work harder for each other when you know each other better.
Right.
That when you're there, it's sometimes it's a rare thing that if everybody works hard, you realize that you're good enough to be there. I realized when we played in that game, we were good enough to beat that team. We played that team 10 times, it goes 5-5. Okay, and that one time we only got one chance to play them, and then that was it. If we win it, we move on. If we lose it, we're done. But taken away from that, realize that you have to get the ball to bounce the right way. Sometimes you make your own breaks. Sometimes it was just sheer luck and that ball hitting a rock and shooting this way, you know. And that's really what it came down to, because I know that we were just as good as them.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
yeah. I mean, you know, you look back on it, and you know, the boys' baseball team, you know, they had everything fall into place for them, but they still played hard, and they did what they needed to do. But they had some teams that they did not want to play, and those teams got beat just by chance of a pitcher being thrown, and they didn't have their best pitcher throwing, so that knocked that team out.
Right.
In softball, you live by your number one, you know, and Sarah did a great job. She did a super job, and so did the other pitcher. And it, just like I said, it bounced one way, run scores, things change. So. Well, that one, because of the chemistry and also how far we went. Just I see this on my back. What do they call on the computer? That's your wallpaper, I guess they call it. I've got pictures of when we went down Main Street there, and we were leaving to go thing, and I remember that feeling still to this day on what that felt like. And then there's other teams. Again, one of the players came back, Ashley Keith and Megan Donahue. They came back to watch this game this week. That team was a very special team because I still get together with them. If they say, hey, you want to go to Skyline, 3 or 4 of them will get together with me and my wife, and we'll go down and eat at Skyline, and we'll just talk about everything, not just softball. We talk about life. They have kids now, and that was a special time because that group didn't have a whole lot of what you call talent, but they had as much heart as any team I've ever had. But the teams, the girls that are mature enough to understand what it is that needs to be done are the ones that are the most fun and the most special.
Yeah, and I think those are the most unique teams in a way
Yes.
too.
Oh yeah, they are. You know, and I'm not knocking last year's team, but last year's team chemistry was off, But around tournament time, it was right on.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that, the
Yep.
chemistry was terrible
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that people were selfish, would be the best word. And it did cost us because of that. And, part of it's my fault because maybe I should have seen that sooner, but part of it's just the way those kids were raised,
Right.
you know.
That's a good one.
So far, this year has been really good. Not having a experienced pitcher is pretty rare for me because usually, the last several years we've had pitchers coming back. But Kiana has done a good job. We had Taylor who was ineligible. Now she's back and she's done a really good job for us. So that's been good. We're winning ball games. Kids are really, the younger kids that are new to it are buying into what we do, and we're smacking the crap out of the ball. We're playing good defense. People that weren't hitting last year are hitting this year. And the goals are real simple. We want to play our best when it comes to tournament time.